Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a binder update, mostly in the chapter 2 solo collection. I have updates for Layover, I have updates, well, the beginning of updates for Golden, and I have a cover page I want to start with as well. And then we're going to end the video with some really exciting updates. This video is really focused on JK for Golden, as you can see. And even though it's the initial kind of setup for Golden and it will definitely change as the rest of the stuff that I've collected comes in, I still wanted to do this video for you because I feel like enough stuff has come in. And also I've had the tendency over the past couple months to be collecting things that I'm not really showing off on this channel. So it's all I got for an update this week. But I think it's a fun one, so stick around to the end if you want to see my new venture, which I'm sure I've already showed in the thumbnail, and you probably already can guess based on some of my last few videos, but whatever. Starting first with chapter 2 solo binder. So I want to put a cover page on this binder. All OT7 is in this binder currently, so I wanted a representative cover page because I finally found the poster to Jin's Astronaut album that I was missing. But because of that, when you open the binder, it's very like Jin, which, don't get me wrong, we do love. It's just hilarious to start the binder with such a giant page. So I was thinking about what I should do about that, and I really contemplated for a second that I would have enough artistic ability to do a collage that included every single person solo, but I definitely don't have that kind of talent. So I was looking at Instagram stories one day and I saw that my friend Steph, interlude MYG, did an OT7 set with everyone's solo photo cards. So that is what I'm going to do to start this binder, and these are the photos that I picked out. I really just wanted them all to go together. Obviously, Namjoon has the hardest situation because I didn't want to use like his eye. So luckily, if I could say luckily, because I was sent a dupe of his lucky draw, I'm just going to use the dupe lucky draw. So that is here. And then everything else, I just kind of picked based on how they were vibing with everyone else. So this is my choice. I chose to do Jack in the Box original version, not the Hope edition. I really love this card, and also I just thought the colors in the back went better with everyone else's vibe, but I did also have a lot of Hope edition to pick from. I had a lot of D-Day to pick from, obviously a lot of Layover to pick from with all of the cards and stuff. So this is where I ended up. I'm happy with it. I think it's a really cute and fun way to start the binder, so thank you to Steph again for this idea. And my goal is to just do my regular hollow fillers right here. I think it'll look the best. We can turn into Jin's section. As you can see from the cards too, I thought these were the best backs to choose from, and I think they'll look nice, especially with the face card down here with the matching hollow filler. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's a fun way to start the binder. I'm really happy with it because I honestly didn't have any other ideas of how to start it until I saw this. So I think this is a great way to incorporate dupes if you have any, and also keep our 7 together. So I love it. Bring our family back together. Anyway, moving on, the next updates I do have are in the Layover section. We're going to be doing a lot of reorganizing because the rest of my cards and stuff came in. Well, actually, that's a lie. I'm still missing 2 cards, but most of my cards came in, and I don't anticipate there being any major changes anytime soon. Oh, speaking of me making collages, I made this collage for face. I think it's pretty cute. I didn't put it at the front or anything. It's just as the divider between my regular face collection and my dupe face collection. And then I have this version on the back. If you think it's ugly, don't tell me. I worked really hard on these and I'm still not featuring them. So I did my best. This was my first real attempt at a collage. I have been saying that I was going to collage for seriously 3 years and I never ever did it. Actually, I would always get the paper and stuff ready, but I never actually did it. So I'm happy that I actually did it. Back to Layover though. This is going to get moved around quite a bit because I have some cards coming that need to be made room for. So I have already kind of conceived of it, I believe. So let's see if it looks nice, but we're going to move all of these. The intention of this page is for it to be kind of a catch-all of the concepts and the more quote-unquote special items of the comeback that I really had a lot of enjoyment in collecting. And like I said, misfits that just don't have any place to go because I sorted based on concept. So here is my new thought for this page. I'm gonna put the broadcast over here. First new addition is the Japan raffle card, which I believe is going here. I don't particularly exactly remember where everything's going, but I think it's going there. And then these two were cards. They were, let's not even talk about the Layover Japan lucky draws, okay? Because it makes me very upset. It makes me very upset. So we're not even going to talk about them. I love these cards. There is another new one that is going in the concept section, so that's why they're not together. I don't really care about keeping these together because clearly Big Hit didn't care about making them unique or anything because they give us 3 dupes. So I'm going to do what I want with them. I don't think that I care about keeping them together is basically what I'm saying. So I'm putting these 2 on this page, and then I do have Vicnic on the way, and we're not going to talk about this center card. So Vicnic is going to go here, and then this page will be done again. So I know right now it looks a little messy, but this is the intention of the page. I think it's all going to come together nice, but we will see. That is the first starting page, and I will show you the other Japan lucky draws as we go further into this. But anyway, so this page is staying exactly the same. This page, we have an update to my last round of lucky draws came in. So I do have this card, which is meant for here. I think I'm just going to, what is this one? Oh yeah, I traded with my friend so she could have the other pub. So this is an extra. I'm just gonna put him here on the back for now. I think it just looks fun because the next page is still the same theme. So he can live on here with this line of that card. This page stays exactly the same because it's filled and we had no concept introductions. And so this one is going to get moved around because this is the other lucky draw from Japan that is different and not a repeat of the Korean lucky draws. So I was thinking I absolutely just kind of have to put him in the middle because he's a different orientation. And so that's just where middle cards go. And then I was going to, this one's the Walmart one, so I'll stay and keep those exclusives in here. I think this is just an album card. Yes, it is. So he's gonna move and I'm going to put him here, which again, I know is not the same concept as this page, but it's very similar coloring. I think he blends in really nice. I don't personally notice or have a problem with it, and he needs somewhere to go. So he is going right here. And I like this page with this new inclusion. I think this is a really beautiful photo card. So I'm happy to add it into the collection. And now here we have the remaining lucky draws. So I'm a big fan of this page. I think it's a fun representation of the concept photos, and I'm a big fan. What I'm not a big fan of though is the repeating of the Japanese lucky draws of the Korean lucky draws. I will never pretend to understand why Big Hit does what it does, but it does feel like a minor slap in the face to regurgitate the same image. Especially when there's so many concept photos to choose from and you just could have picked a different concept photo. Like, I'm not asking you to make him take another selfie or something. Just pick a different concept photo. There were so many of them, and there's so many concept photos that didn't get cards. I'm thinking specifically like the gold outfit and the pink suit from the indoor look have no feature. I don't think the shorts and like hat look either. Right? Yeah, no, there's so many concept photos they could have picked from to make the lucky draws and the Japanese cards different. Fuck you! These are 3 exact dupes, so I decided that I'm just gonna put them in the middle because I do have 2 sets of the PVC cards. So I'm just gonna make this last and final page the rest of the Japan lucky draws, and on the top and the bottom the PVC cards, because the PVC cards are so cute. I'm happy to have a full set, to be honest, or 2 full sets to be honest, because they're just really adorable cards. It's hard for me to see it from this angle, so it's usually when editing when I decide and I can see it on the screen but I actually like how it looks. So maybe I'll just make them match like Hype Boy on this side as well and not kitty corner it, but I don't know, I can't see right now really get a good perspective of this angle. So for now I'm gonna do it like that, but I might change it. And then of course that leaves this problem child. He's the only card that I can't fit in this whole setup section before the dupe section. So in admitting defeat, I'm just gonna put it on the back. I do believe though that if a vinyl comes out or there's some other kind of release, that he will have a place once again. But for now, he's just gonna go on the back of this card, and I will be momentarily admitting defeat. So there is that. And then I do have a large inclusion update, which is exciting. So as cute as this is a filler. This isn't a real postcard. So what actually goes here is the missing hollow frame that I have. I need to take out this. This is the Weverse album, which I also want to be on the back of the hollow frame. So here it is. And fun fact, I do slice off the frame part. These aren't things that I would resell anyway, so I'm not worried about losing the value on it or anything. But I don't like the folding flap. I don't want to put that on my binder. It stresses me out about bending and stuff. So I just slice the frame clean off and then usually hide it somehow. So this time for Layover, we will be hiding it with the Tanny Weverse album. So there it is on there. And then we've got the hollow frame here. Thank you to McKinley for sending this to me. I appreciate it so much, because that officially completes the large inclusions for Tay. I do have another one on the way for Vicnic, the ticket, but I'll figure out where I'm going to put that once I actually see it. And there we go. It's so cute. I'm absolutely obsessed with my large inclusion section for Layover, and I really hope that I can figure out something similarly for JK. Unfortunately, a lot of his are horizontal, which may just result in me having to do 2 pockets, and like that's fine, but I haven't really figured it out yet. I'm still in the initial stages for his, but I would like to eventually find a solution that I'm as happy with as I am with this Layover large inclusion section. So we will see and we will hope, and I will keep thinking about it and stuff. But that is all of my Layover updates. As you can see, I'm almost done. There's just a few little things that need to be put in, and those should be complete before the end of the year flip through. So you'll probably see them then. I doubt I'll do another formal Layover setup, but that's basically almost Layover done. This is my collage for Layover. So this is the blonde look. I really like how this one turned out. I think it's fun, and the colors mesh well. And then I have the one over here, and of course Tanny is featured in these as well, because he's also featured in these concept photos. And I just think it's a fun way to go into the envelopes, because the envelopes do eventually lead you into the Tanny poster. So big fan of all of this last little bit of this section. So now we go into Golden. I haven't picked out which poster I want yet. The first page of my JK section I do believe is going to be the global pobs and the Japanese pobs. I only have the global ones here right now. The Japanese ones are on the way, so I will make more fully formed poster decisions once those arrive. But basically, I just wanted to show you the beginning setup of Golden and kind of my thought process through it. Like I said, this is not at all fully formed. There's still a lot that has to come in, but I did get my global order in, and so I have all of these cards to put away. As you can see, we have a lot of fillers. I have the album cards and the Weverse album cards as well, and then I also have all of the exclusives right now that have been shipped out. So the Chinese exclusives are not out in the world yet. I do have them on the way, but I don't have them yet, so can't set up for them or anything, but I'm gonna still try to walk you through the process. This first page of just the global pobs, very under construction. I'm not going to even think about what setup I'm gonna do with them yet, to be honest. So they will definitely all get shuffled around once my Japanese pobs are here. For now, I'm just going to make this the placeholder page for the pob page and fill in the rest with fillers. There's the placeholder pob page that is definitely going to be shifted around. We have the 2 early bird PVC cards, and we have the 2 regular random global pobs. I hate these early bird PVC cards. For every single member, I wish they didn't do them. They're so unnecessary. You can't see the image. Look how weird they look on the page. They just make me so angry. I just wish so bad they would stop that nonsense and just give us the photo like a regular photo card. Please, I'm begging you. Anyway, here's gonna be the album page. I usually do album pages with the PVC cards on them, which I do plan on doing. I don't have my PVC cards yet, I do have them secured though. Since there's 3 of them, actually the numbers work out really perfectly for his PVC album cards section. So obviously these are 2 regular album cards. That's a Weverse album card. And then the 3 spots in the middle belong to the PVC album cards. And then it's going to be the same setup down below. So we've got a regular album card, we've got the Weverse album card, and then we've got the last regular album card. So I'm really pleased with how this album page worked out. I think it'll look nice once the PVC cards are here, and I'm really looking forward to those. I think they're super cute, so happy to have those in the middle. And then next will be the country exclusive page, which I actually do have a full complete page of. It's mostly just the US exclusives, and then there is the Europe exclusive right here. So these are kind of a mess just in terms of concept. I feel pretty frustrated with this page, similarly to how I felt with Yoongi's pop exclusive page. So I do think this is subject to change. I have tried every single iteration of these 9 cards, and this is what I've landed on for right now. So like I said, I could totally change things around, but I'm kind of in a situation where these are all concepts and all the remaining cards that I have incoming are selfies, so I'm really not going to mix those anyway. So these are the concepts that I have to kind of make do with what I have and get it to work. This was also just kind of like a really funny snowball because I just decided that what I wanted to do for everyone's solo comeback who wasn't Jimin and Tae was to collect all of their country exclusives and then collect whatever I wanted in terms of like lucky draws and PVCs and stuff. So I have everyone's country exclusives done. And so when I started his, if you remember, we thought, well, we didn't know D2C was going to be a thing. We thought Walmart was mini posters, which I wasn't counting mini posters. I was only counting Photocard. So I didn't initially even plan on getting the Walmart version. I thought there was just going to be a 1 of 2 Target, 1 Barnes & Noble, and if you remember, Weverse USA also was 1 card. So in the beginning, I thought this was going to be a lot less than what it ended up being. And it was just kind of like every time the goalpost got moved, I just kept up with it, which is my own fault, you know, like I didn't have to do that, but it just kind of felt like, well, I'm already almost there, I'll just do it. Because suddenly Walmart was 1 of 2 random cards. Suddenly Weverse USA was 1 of 2 random cards. Suddenly there was a D2C album.
Holy moly.
It just kind of kept going and going and going. And I was also hoping that, I don't know how to say this store, FNAC, FNAC, I'm not quite sure what people say, but if you remember for that too, Namjoon's Indigo card was the same as his Weverse USA card. I was also expecting Golden's Weverse USA card to be the same as the Europe exclusive, but then of course it wasn't. So it was just kind of like a snowball avalanche sliding down the hill that got out of control slowly but surely, because when I initially made this decision, I did not expect to be collecting 9 country exclusives plus the 4 China exclusives as well. But here we are still standing. So anyway, this, let me see if I can do it. I am almost positive I'm right. Target, Walmart, Weverse USA, D2C, Barnes & Noble, Europe. I'm pretty sure that's right. So this is the exclusive page. I don't love it, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of the way that I set it up, but I think it's my best option for now, and maybe inspiration will strike. As I said in my D-Day video, you kind of just have to trust the process, especially while a lot of things are still out in the world and haven't been received yet. There's only so much that I can organize, and maybe once Japan is here and the lucky draws are here, I will shuffle some stuff around, but for now, these are my initial thoughts of being the US, EU, country exclusive page. We've got the album page with the PVC, and then we will eventually have the Korean pobs and the Japanese pobs. So all the other things that I have on the way are lucky draws, so lucky draws will go here. And that will be the end of the golden collecting. Now, I do have some oversized inclusions to put away. I definitely don't want to keep them like this, so I hesitate to even show you, but I do want to show you, I guess at least, that I am all up to date on his postcards. I'm just waiting for my UMS pob to come in. Obviously, I don't have my Japanese stuff yet, so I'm missing the UMS pob, but I do think I have all of his other postcards that at least come in the regular albums. So I don't know what color this is, green. Yeah, this is green. I just decided to double up for now as a solution, but like I said, this is probably subject to change because I'm looking for a solution that I like more. That's the blue, and then this is the white, and then these are the frames, which are definitely not staying here. I don't know which way I'm going to organize it, but I just have 3 because I bought 3 sets on Global. And then here are the Weverse album ones. I also don't know what I'm going to do with these. I want to put them in a smaller 4 pocket, I think, so I'm gonna like put these 4 and then this front to back, I think is my plan, but I'm not quite sure where my smaller 4 pockets are. These are the oversized ones, so this is definitely not gonna stay like this, but just to show you, I do have the postcards and such complete. So this is the starting preliminary section of Golden. I'm excited to see how it all shakes out once everything is in, and I'm really excited for some of these selfie cards that are coming in. I have 2 favorites. I'll put them up on the screen from the lucky draws that are my favorite personal ones of Golden era so far. So this one and this one, I can't wait till they show up. So anyway, that is the preliminary start to Golden, but we are not done with showing JK cards in this video. Let me get my other binder. Okay, and we're back for take 2. Unfortunately, I just filmed this section, but I forgot that the way that I set this binder up involves double spreads, so I didn't move the binder over far enough. So I have to redo it because you're like missing half of the left page, which once I open this binder, you're going to see why that's just an unacceptable way to film this binder. So anyway, this is my memories collection and also contains DVD cards and other merch items from movies, docu-series, TV shows, books, all that kind of stuff. But the first section is my memories collection. Now, I really hope that if you're at the end of this video, you are a more consistent viewer of mine, or you're at least familiar with how I collect, because I feel like this will make a lot more sense. If you happen to be someone who has never watched my videos before, hi, hello, this might be very confusing, but essentially this is going to be my explanation of how I'm going from collecting 4 members for DVD and Blu-ray and slowly expanding all the way up into OT7, which is the ultimate goal of this collection. So I'm going to put a timestamp up on the screen right now if you don't want to hear my explanation for kind of deciding how I'm going to do it and just a few tips and tricks. The reason that I feel compelled to do this little intro explanation is just because I never want anyone to take my videos and what I'm saying as something that I think are facts. I'm always speaking from my experience, and I just don't want to be careless enough that if I say something in the way that it worked for me, it gets misconstrued. Someone does the same thing and it doesn't work for them. So here, if you want to skip ahead to when I'm just putting away JK's cards, but as quick as I possibly can, because I've already filmed this section, I decided I'm finally ready to start collecting OT7 for DVD and Blu-ray a couple months ago. Basically, when I put all of my DVD cards back into the A5 big deluxe binder and realized that that collection was already too big for that deluxe binder. So I was looking for a solution. Photo cards are on the decline. I know it's kind of a weird conversation to have, and I don't really think that we really need to get into it because I think anyone who collects BTS is aware of what's happening and why, but there is a huge decrease in prices. There are a lot of people dropping their collections, and the people who want to continue to collect BTS and particularly want to continue to collect them long term are getting to reap the benefits of this decline. There's obviously good and bad and sad and positive and negative attached to all this decline, but it's happening regardless of how we personally feel about it. So as a silver lining, there is a huge opportunity for people who want to continue collecting to seize on these moments, and I truly do expect to continue, at least for a while. There will continue to be a decline. So that's just my thoughts on that. But essentially, that is why I'm ready to start doing this section of my collection again. It was always a long-term maybe of mine. I'm not going to say it was like my biggest dream ever. It was if it was possible, and with the decline in prices, it's definitely becoming possible. So to approach this better though than when I did OT7 album, when I approached OT7 album, I'm literally not kidding kidding you. I went on to Mercari Japan. I price limited my search from 300 yen to 800 yen. And then I just grabbed all the listings that I thought looked legit. And then obviously if there were cards that fell out of those parameters, I had to, put a little bit more work into it. But it was really easy to go after those listings using those price restrictions. That price restriction searching though is, I don't think, a feasible method for looking for DVD and Blu-ray cards. And the reason to that is because Mercari Japan in the past year and a half has become flooded with fake DVD cards specifically. I am no mathematician. I did not go to grad school to be a mathematician, so I'm definitely pulling this statistic out of my ass, but it feels like when you go on the first page of Mercari Japan Hits, if you just type in BTS Photocard, at least half of those listings are going to be fake these days. So it's a very scary environment to be in when you want to collect more coveted cards, and DVD and Blu-ray cards tend to be more popular amongst collectors. So I needed a new approach because I definitely could not do the price restriction post, because if you just put in, say you only want to pay $40 to $60 for whatever card you're looking for, right? More likely than not, all of those hits that you look up are probably going to be fake. So you need a much different approach. So because I am sometimes an incredibly type A and anxious personality, I like to approach a problem with a regimented plan, and other times I'm like loosey-goosey, go with the flow. But for DVD and Blu-ray specifically, and for collecting JK's section of DVD and Blu-ray specifically, I just think in my own personal experience, one cannot be loosey-goosey with your plan in doing it, because he is the hardest one to overcome in this kind of section. We all know why he is the hardest one for authenticity purposes and for pricing. So I think in my experience that it works best to have a plan. So because I needed a new plan for DVD and Blu-ray, I decided first I was going to go by member. I was not just going to go out and grab listings for the 3 remaining members that I needed and just grab them when I saw them. I wanted to go in with a specific segmented plan. So I did pick to collect JK first, and it's simply because if I cannot collect JK, I will be unable to collect OT7 because he is much more expensive and he is much harder to authenticate. He has the most fakes running around in my experience, and he also has the highest prices running around in my experience. So because of that, I decided to do JK first, because if JK can't get done, OT7 is not getting done. So JK decided. My next thought was looking at this template. I looked at this template. I whited out all the things of his that I absolutely was not going to collect or focus on at the moment. I had set my goals and I was looking at it. How does this break up in my personal collection? In my collection, memories, torn muster are separate. So that's 2 distinct sections that I can work on, right? And so looking at those individual sections, what cards from those sections are going to be the hardest to authenticate and are going to be the priciest? From Tour and Muster, in my opinion, it's Fan Meeting Volume 3. And that is because a real high resolution image exists of that photo that the photo card is taken from, which is not common amongst photo cards. So you can have a perfectly cropped fake card that's like unprecedentedly bad. There are a bunch of guides going around on Instagram on how you can determine if your card is real or fake, or how to find a real card for that, but just know that you cannot rely exclusively on the cropping for that one. It's a shit show. So we've got that camp. And then in the Memories camp, obviously Memories Blu-ray 2017 is going to be the hardest price-wise. So with this plan in mind, I went into my Mercari listing searching, basically just like, well, first of all, I completely X'd out. I was not going to buy Fan Meeting Volume 3 on Japan. So I went into my general listing searching with which one could I find first. So I did have to expand beyond Japan, because it's my opinion that you're probably more likely than not never going to get a real JK 3rd Fan Meeting Volume 3 card on Japan in this state of collecting. That's my opinion. You can do what you want with it. I was not going to buy that card in Japan because I was almost certain that I was going to get scammed. So in expanding my search, I wanted to find either his Memories Blu-ray 2017 or his Fan Meeting Volume 3, and then that would determine if I was going to focus on Tour and Muster first for him, or if I was going to focus first on Memories for him. And because we're in the memory section, I'm sure you can guess which one I ultimately landed on. So with all that being said, I really wanted to say that, because in saying that the prices are going down and everything's on the decline and prices are better than ever, I worry that those words will be misconstrued and someone will take that and they will buy a fake listing. Because what people need to keep in mind, if you're not aware, is just because prices are on the decline does not exclude the fact that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fake, too good to be true priced DVD cards out there. Both of those facts are true. Real listings are going down in price, but the amount of fake listings that are well priced are increasing every day. So it's like this tension. I'm sorry if I've said it before and you're tired of me saying it, but I never, ever, ever want to be the person who puts in someone's head that a too good to be true price is what's happening right now, because there are really good prices right now. You can even find cards that are better than the too good to be true prices of the fake listings, but it's more about the fact that you need to have the awareness that if it's a too good to be true price, particularly, especially, almost always on Japan specifically, it's fake, okay? There are people who have made videos on Shop With Me on Mercari Japan. There are people who have made videos on how to spot fake cards on Mercari Japan. I'm sorry, I don't have a resource to point out, and I also don't have the time in this kind of video to go through all the steps of why something would be fake on Mercari Japan, but I promise you, if you put in the work, you can figure it out. If this is a hobby that you're invested in, you will eventually learn and you will build skills to help you make better choices when it comes to buying listings on Japan. Okay, I think I've said all I needed to say. I just really want to cover my bases whenever I do a video like this that is really talking about pricing and the kind of climate of the photocard collecting community. I need to preface everything with this is all in my experience, and also that doesn't mean you can't suddenly not be careful. Consistency and being careful are the most important things when it comes to completing sections like this. And consistency, I mean actively checking all means of photocard listing platforms that you can as frequently as you can. I check the same kind of platforms for the same kind of cards that I'm looking for every single day, and that's how I'm able to find listings. I don't have a special in, I don't have a cheat to the source code of how to find these really good listings. I have as much information as you do watching, and the only thing that I do is I am consistent in checking for listings. So with that being said, my setup is going to be for an OT7 setup. I'm obviously starting with JK, so he will be going here in his placement. I would like you to please forgive my fillers. They're still the really shitty placeholder ones that I made way back in the day before I decided if I wanted to place a formal moo.com order. We're actually starting off with the man that started it all, 2017 Blu-ray. This card was honestly not as stressful to track down as some of his other cards. I had a price range that I was looking for, and I'm very happy with the price that I ultimately ended up paying for it. If I can give any recommendation on the pricing of this card specifically, the way that I approach his prices is the way that I approach everyone's prices. Is this a price that I'm okay to pay with if tomorrow a reprint of this DVD gets announced? And I can happily say that the price that I paid for this card was a price that I'm very happy with, and if a reprint of 2017 is announced tomorrow, I will not be upset that I bought this card for the price that I did. I'm very happy with the price I was able to track down, and I think that is really all I can say about pricing. Is you need to have an internal check with yourself. If the reprint is announced tomorrow, are you going to be happy that you paid for the original printing, or were you going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have just waited for the reprint price? So happily, I'm very excited that I was able to find a real listing that I'm very happy with the price on it. I think it was a good price, particularly historically what I've seen this card go for, fractional price of what I've seen this card go for before. So I'm very happy about that, and I believe you can do it too, particularly with people, like I said, a lot of people are dropping their collections. So I expect to see more of these cards just out in circulation. And of course, you'll be careful for fakes. There are too good to be true prices. But anyway, On this page, we have the full 2017 spread, so I thought this concept just matched better with this side, so that's why I did it like this. I really like having DVD go first and then Blu-ray, but for the sake of these double-sided cards, I just did Blu-ray on the left, especially when it comes to JK. My biggest other tip would be to look for someone who is solely a JK collector. Maybe they collect one other member of BTS, but someone who is just very clearly downsizing their collection, I think is so much safer in the long run than a big reseller who maybe that reseller is legit and has like 1,000 positive reviews, but at the end of the day, someone who is downsizing a collection that they specifically curated and put love and care to, in my opinion, makes them so much more legit. And that's what I was able to find, and what ultimately led me to buying this card was because it wasn't JK. Downsizer, everything checked out about her. Amazing money conversion on that too. That's also definitely helpful. And why I've been able to do this as well is when I am buying them on Japan, the yen conversion to USD is shockingly good still. So all of those are kind of factors that you have to consider, but I definitely would recommend when you're buying cards like this to go after someone who's actually downsizing their collection. Here's his 2018 Blu-ray. I do have to put it in on this side since we're doing the double spread. And here is his 2018 DVD. I also want to take a moment to talk about these pages. As you can see, I'm using side loading pages. I first learned about these through watching Eddie K's videos, so thank you for the recommendation. If you are a frequent watcher of my channel, I feel like I don't even need to say this, but I obviously care a lot about and talk a lot about collection safety. And so when I saw these side loading pages on her video, I was like, I absolutely have to try them because the tops are completely covered and it just creates so much peace of mind for me. I did see that she said in the comments that there are some problems with these pages, and so if you want a full honest review of my opinion, I do think these pages are pretty problematic if you have certain kinds of hang-ups. So they're pretty problematic in the sense that they're not super easy to move in and out of. It does kind of take some struggle and patience to get a card in there. As you can see, it's not as quick as just sliding it in a top-loading one, but because of that, I just feel like my cards are so much more safe. So that's not a personal problem for me, but I do recognize why it would be a personal problem for some people. But I would say by far the worst thing about these pages is this middle row is too small for Dragon Shield sleeves. So my entire Veeam June collection had to be re-sleeved in Meow Cafe's slightly smaller than Dragon Shield sleeves, which personally, like I said, I did not have a problem doing because I love the peace of mind of these side loading pages. It was tedious, it was frustrating to have to get sleeves specifically for this specific collection, but at the same time, this is a section of my collection. My DVD and Blu-ray collection are some of my most favorite parts of my collection, and so I'm like willing to put in the extra time and effort that it takes to keep them safe. So that's my review of these pages. There'll be a link in my supply doc if you have an interest in them, but please know they're kind of incredibly problematic pages. They're pretty hard to use. They're not the most user-friendly pages at all, but like I said, to me, my personal weighing of pros and cons, it's gonna be really hard to get me to say there's a con to this. Seeing how tight they're held in here, seeing how they're very protected from the air and the elements. This is just my kind of design that I look for in supplies. I want to prioritize protection really above most things. So these work perfectly for me, but please note they're not the most usable sleeves. I don't think I have anything more to say. I think I have said what I've said, and we've seen the memories section now expand from 4 to 5. As for where I'm at next, like I said, this is going to be a very long and segmented endeavor. I have started working on his tour and muster section. It's definitely not going to be done before the end of the year, but that's also partly why I wanted to do this section now, because this video was more about JK anyway, so I thought I might as well put away some of his progress and also reveal that this is the next stage of my collection, because I was going to get to the end of the year flip through and everything has been changed around anyway, and you would have been like, what the heck? Like, why does your collection look like that right now? Why are you collecting 5 members for DVD and Blu-ray? I'm not collecting 5 members for DVD and Blu-ray. I am collecting all 7. It's just going to be a long process, and you're going to have to live with me through the turning and changing of this collection, because I'm not going to be able to pour it all on the side and then reveal it once it's done, just because it's going to take too long. I really do expect that this is probably going to take me probably all of the next year to complete. So because of that, I felt like I needed to start showing you the process of it and kind of explain how we got here. So do stay tuned if you're interested. Please like the video if you did enjoy. You can comment if you would like to, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I hope you are doing okay, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Get the hell out.